Zhang Ling sat quietly in the backstage dressing room, the gentle hum of the air conditioner providing a soft backdrop to the quiet evening. The bright lights of the busy filming set had finally dimmed, leaving behind a rare moment of stillness and peaceful solitude. He took a slow, deep breath, setting down the heavy script he had been reviewing for hours to rest his tired eyes. This particular interview was unlike any he had ever done before, arranged by his team as a special segment to connect more deeply with his dedicated fans. They had collected thousands of questions from across the globe, poring over the curiosities and heartfelt messages sent by supporters. Most of the inquiries touched upon familiar topics, ranging from his rigorous acting preparation to his favorite behind-the-scenes moments. However, the production team had managed to keep one specific envelope hidden right until the very last moment of the recording session. The interviewer smiled warmly, leaning forward across the low wooden table to present a sleek, unmarked black envelope to the young actor. She explained that this question had never been asked by any media outlet or fan club during his entire career thus far. Curiosity naturally flickered in his sharp, expressive eyes as he reached out his long fingers to accept the mysterious envelope with gentle care. He slid the card out from its protective casing, his gaze scanning the neatly printed lines of text written in bold, unexpected phrasing. For a few quiet seconds, absolute silence filled the room as he processed the profound depth of what was being asked. It was a deeply introspective query, one that bypassed the usual superficial discussions of fame, upcoming dramas, and public appearances entirely. Instead, it reached straight into the private philosophy he held about personal growth, quiet resilience, and the internal changes brought by sudden stardom. A faint, thoughtful smile slowly graced his lips, signaling that the question had genuinely resonated with his inner thoughts. Instead of rushing into a rehearsed or polished response, he leaned back comfortably into the soft cushions of the sofa, collecting his thoughts carefully. He knew his loyal fans would be watching every micro-expression, eager to understand the authentic person behind the beloved characters he portrayed on screen. He began to speak softly, his voice carrying a calm and reflective tone that immediately drew everyone in the room closer. He started by looking back at the younger version of himself, long before cameras, scripts, and millions of devoted supporters became a daily reality in his life. Back then, his world was much smaller, centered mostly around quiet university lecture halls, quiet ambitions, and ordinary dreams of the future. He recalled the quiet uncertainty that often accompanied those early days, wondering where life would ultimately lead him as he navigated early adulthood. The transition into the fiercely competitive entertainment industry had not been an easy journey, filled with countless auditions, late nights, and heavy expectations. He spoke candidly about the moments of intense doubt when the pressure to perform perfectly felt overwhelming, testing his mental and emotional endurance. Yet, he emphasized that those difficult trials were precisely what forged his current character, teaching him the invaluable art of patience and self-belief. Addressing the unasked question directly, he revealed how he manages to protect his inner peace amidst the constant whirlwind of public attention and media scrutiny. Many people assumed that being an actor meant living entirely in the spotlight, but he stressed the vital importance of finding solace in quiet solitude. Whether it was reading a quiet book, listening to instrumental music, or simply spending time alone, these small rituals kept him grounded. He reflected on how his perspective on success had undergone a massive transformation ever since he first stepped onto a professional television set. Initially, success felt like a race to achieve specific milestones, win prestigious awards, and secure prominent leading roles in major drama productions. Over time, however, he realized that true fulfillment came from the connections he built with characters and the quiet satisfaction of self-improvement. Every single role he portrayed taught him something profound about human emotion, empathy, and the complex nature of interpersonal relationships. When stepping into the shoes of a complex historical figure or a modern romantic lead, he found pieces of hidden truths about his own personality. This continuous cycle of learning through acting allowed him to mature not just as a professional artist, but fundamentally as a human being. The conversation naturally drifted toward the incredible community of fans who supported his artistic journey through every single high and low. He expressed deep gratitude for their unwavering loyalty, noting how their encouraging words often acted as a powerful anchor during exhausting shooting schedules. Knowing that countless people believed in his potential gave him the extraordinary courage to push past his creative boundaries and take bold risks. He shared a touching personal anecdote about a memorable fan encounter that occurred outside a chilly filming location late at night. Despite freezing temperatures, a small group of supporters had waited patiently just to hand him a warm cup of tea and brief encouraging letters. That simple act of kindness reminded him that his work had a tangible, heartwarming impact on real lives, turning fatigue into renewed motivation instantly. Discussing the inevitable pressures of living under constant public observation, he admitted that maintaining authenticity required a conscious, daily effort. In a digital age where every single word, outfit, and gesture was analyzed under a microscope, staying true to oneself was a formidable challenge. He credited his close family members and trusted friends for keeping him humble, always reminding him of who he was before fame. He elaborated on his personal philosophy regarding failure, viewing it not as a devastating setback, but as an essential teacher disguised as hardship. Whenever a project faced criticism or a performance fell short of his own high standards, he chose to analyze the experience constructively rather than despair. This resilient mindset allowed him to bounce back stronger, more focused, and infinitely more determined to hone his craft. When asked about his future aspirations beyond the glamorous world of television dramas, his eyes lit up with a quiet, genuine enthusiasm. He expressed a deep desire to explore more diverse, unconventional characters that challenged societal norms and pushed the envelope of storytelling. For him, acting was an endless ocean of discovery, and he was only just beginning to scratch the surface of his true potential. The interviewer listened with rapt attention, visibly moved by the raw honesty and intellectual depth behind his carefully chosen words. It became abundantly clear that Zhang Ling was far more than just a handsome face gracing trending television screens across the nation. He was a deeply thoughtful individual who approached his art, his life, and his relationships with profound sincerity and intellectual curiosity. As the discussion progressed, he touched upon the importance of balance, acknowledging how easy it was to become entirely consumed by a demanding career. He made a conscious promise to himself to carve out precious time for personal hobbies, physical wellness, and creating meaningful memories with loved ones. Maintaining this healthy equilibrium was the ultimate secret to sustaining a long, fulfilling career in the demanding entertainment industry. He offered a rare glimpse into his creative process, explaining how he spends countless hours dissecting character motivations and historical backgrounds before filming begins. Rather than relying solely on natural talent, he viewed hard work, meticulous preparation, and continuous learning as the true pillars of lasting success. This disciplined approach had earned him the profound respect of seasoned directors, veteran actors, and production crews alike. Reflecting on the unexpected nature of the question he had just answered, he chuckled softly, expressing hope that his response offered genuine insight. He never wanted to present a fabricated persona to his audience, believing that true connection could only exist where absolute honesty prevailed. Knowing that his candid thoughts might inspire someone going through a tough time gave him a deep sense of purpose. The studio lights cast a warm, golden glow across the room as the interview gradually approached its final, concluding moments. The atmosphere felt intimate and serene, completely detached from the usual frantic energy that surrounded celebrity press junkets and promotional tours. Both the interviewer and the production crew felt privileged to witness such a rare, unguarded glimpse into the actor's inner world. He took a moment to look directly into the camera lens, knowing that millions of devoted fans would eventually watch this heartfelt segment. His gaze was steady, warm, and filled with an unspoken gratitude that transcended the physical distance between himself and his global audience. He conveyed a powerful message about resilience, urging everyone watching to embrace their own unique journeys with courage and self-compassion. In wrapping up the historic interview, he shared a poetic thought about how life resembles an unfolding script written one day at a time. No one could predict every plot twist or overcome every obstacle with absolute perfection, but the beauty lay in how one chose to respond. With grace, determination, and an open heart, any challenge could be transformed into a stepping stone toward greatness. The director finally called cut, signaling the official end of the recording session, but the profound silence in the room lingered for several seconds. No one wanted to shatter the tranquil spell that Zhang Linghe's thoughtful words had seamlessly woven throughout the entire studio space. Slowly, smiles broke out, followed by quiet murmurs of appreciation from the production staff who recognized the historic nature of the broadcast. Zhang Ling let out a relaxed sigh, a genuine smile spreading across his face as he stood up to stretch his limbs. The weight of the unprecedented question was gone, replaced by the liberating feeling of having shared his truest self with the world. He thanked the crew members individually, shaking hands and expressing his appreciation for their hard work throughout the long evening. Walking out of the dressing room into the cool night air, He looked up at the quiet, star-studded sky above the bustling city streets. He knew that tomorrow would bring a brand new wave of busy schedules, demanding scripts, and public appearances under the bright lights. Yet, he felt lighter, deeply grounded, and more ready than ever to embrace whatever exciting chapters lay ahead in his remarkable journey.